So it connects with the River Thames. Lots of wildlife, lots of bird life, I want you to notice as well, all the way along this trip. Now we could turn this boat around and take you all over the country. We could go to Liverpool, Leeds, Newcastle, almost to Scotland, to York, to Wales and Bristol. The top of this canal, before it connects with the other ones, is Union Canal. The top of this canal, which we leave behind horses, because boats in the past, working boats, didn't have engine. More about the horse later. And by the way, you only needed one horse to pretty much all about the public using them for pleasure. The corals, the canal is also a place where people live. These boats on either side are people's full-time house slowly, so that the water stays nice and calm as we go. Boat homes is what most of them are called, and not barges. The boat you're sitting in is not a barge, it's another narrow boat, so look at the shape. Typical, traditional, very efficient for moving through water, but also able to go down very narrow waterways around the country. So they're narrow boats, not barges. Inside the ones that are people's homes, custom built to be places to live in, they have heating water. They have coal and wood burners for keeping warm. A sitting room or living room and a bedroom with a lot of different ways of adapting the space. And part of the idea, gardens are actually moored in permanent, private, residential moorings. And that word mooring is really the word for tying your boat up to the side. You see the gaps on either side here, these are mooring spaces. So mostly in this part, these residential mooring spaces, you have your own bit of the canal to tie up to. That means whilst you're away, no one can take this space on the right hand side. So not everybody has their own bit of the canal. We'll see a lot of boats, okay? And by way of just getting the contrast, which I think this commentary is a lot about contrast, just to say that the boat you're sitting on is to do with the past, really. Jason didn't have this roof on when it was first built, nor did it have an engine when it was first built. The space where you are sitting is called the car. Had been built before any of the buildings that we're looking at, because they needed to get through a hill back in 1811. This tunnel is 275 yards long. It takes the canal through a hill. So where that cafe was that you saw on top, that's the hill, that's the Edgware Road, and then a mile north of Marble Arch away to Arrive. A very long rope usually, and the horse would continue to pull the boat. Only needed one horse to pull all of that along the canal. In fact, you could pull this boat along the canal. Why? Or how? Well, just by getting the boat going, and the water does it, so it means that you're not actually pulling most of the time. Just get the boat going. If you look on the left hand side, there's a bit of white paint on the arc of the tunnel on the left. This is actually to point at this piece of iron. burning coal here right up until the 1960s. So that's fairly modern. Whatever's been they've built there since, they're not generating us there. What's in the background compared to the foreground visually and in terms of the story? There's a power station. Before there was electricity, this was pure countryside. Pure countryside. I've seen an etching, I think it was an engraving of the canal here when it was first built. Everything. Not only boats bringing in coal and goods and materials from all over the country, the railways began to take over everything, and they began to mean that you could build extra industrial buildings and facilities and yards and warehouses and factories. The construction on either side of the canal really started to get built up because of the changes brought about by the railways. And this began at the beginning, in the middle of the 19th century. First half of it, towards the middle of the 19th century. These railway bridges really a little bit later than that, but still like at least half a dozen more bridges to do with transporting goods and materials back there. And trains going into and out of Marylebone Station. And I think the train we perhaps just heard would have crossed one of these last two bridges, which is part of the Metropolitan line, which I consider the London Underground system. It's going overground to the northwest London suburbs, but to our right, those last two railway tracks that are going, you just don't get to look at famous London from the canals because of the relationship that the canal has with what canal was open to the public. So even Regent's Park, which I expect, so you can hear a Metropolitan line train there, that'll be in Baker Street in a minute. I suspect most of you will have heard of Regent's Park, right? Remember, this is the Regent's Canal. So we go around Regent's Park here. The original drawings for the landscaping of the park, which is on our right-hand side, had the canal going through. But they didn't want it to go through it. The people that had the old buildings in Regent's Park didn't want to see the canal. So we go around the edge of it. The buildings we've got on the right are not that old actually. They are imitating 40 years old, but they are people's homes. So we are up close again, relatively close to the different ways and means that people live on the canal and alongside the canal. You may, in the last minute, have just seen people living under the bridge alongside the canal. We've got what I call the modern Regent's Park villa at the garden. So on the left is just one single private property. All of this on the rather attractive, isn't it? It looks like it should be open to the public. It's not in the garden, they're on the other side of the Prince Albert Road up there. And from that road, there's a brick wall on the other side of the garden. So not only can you not see this garden from the road, you wouldn't even know there was a canal here. Also, if you're standing in Regent's Park, on the other side, on the right, you're looking at the gated driveways on the other side of these new extravagant properties on the right. You don't see the canal. In fact, look at us being the lowest part of the scenery. If you imagine that you're digging the canal, waterway running past the end of their garden, as much as not wanting people to see into their garden. So relationship, in our eyes look at it quite differently. It looks like a charming, secluded part of London. But we're actually moving through, well, a man-made environment. There wasn't a convenient avenue of trees here for them to build the canal. They would have cleared the woodland and cut the canal into the London clay mud. And what's left of the woodland screens the canal from view. I like that word to give you a sense that it is man-made, and 200 plus years ago, not really a lot of what we would consider adequate machinery to build 4,000 miles of man-made waterways around this country. That word, the cut, is a word that we use, a colloquial name for describing or just naming the canal. Simply the cut, because that's what it is. A man-made channel cut into the ground. Most of that work done by the Irish migrant labourers of the time. Extraordinary. I don't even really believe there's 4,000 miles, but I've read it so many times I had to accept. To build the canals, you have to kind of wind your way around the landscape, so it's true. And the Regent's Canal, one of the last pieces of the jigsaw. So we slow down here. Just be careful of the people in the little grey boats coming towards us. The guy in front, he's got his experience, but he's trying to navigate a bit of space between these little go-boats here. The bridge here has its own nickname. We call this Blow-Up Bridge. I don't know if you can see the rope marks in these columns on the left with them. They don't correspond with where the horses would have walked, because the columns were in the canal after a massive explosion which destroyed the original Macclesfield Bridge. Blow-Up Bridge. In 1874, there was a series of boats tied to each other. I understand. It's a road we could drive over the canal, onto the railway bridges, but during times at night time. If you drive over the top, you get to the other side in a couple of minutes. And then a few streets beyond the top, you don't have to drive you West End, Oxford Street. Some of the big service. This is Central London. You have walking to the center. But walking to the center, you're in the city. You're in the big cities. What it is. And it's like a big story. This is like a man-made environment. It's different, like fragile, it's different. Western canals around the country, and they were going to fill in the Regent's Canal and build over it. Back then, which is water today. It took a long time, I think, for the public to really use the canals like we do today. Perhaps taking it for granted. Something I don't take for granted at this point as we go alongside a couple of enclosures in London Zoo is whether we're going to see anything in the zoo or not. If we look to the right, I'm trying to notice what the people alongside are looking at. If you look to the right, are there any warthogs walking about in there? I saw one of them heading a football around a week ago. I saw a couple this morning, but I don't see any signs of the warthogs on this trip. I think there'll be a few more around this structure. Doesn't need a commentary, that, does it? That's pretty good. They're called colobus monkeys, by the way. Colobus. See anything in the zoo, but we did see quite a few quite special examples of the bird life that was on the island back at Little Venice. So there's quite a few different things going on the canal, and it's a very busy season for hatching ducklings. You drive on the right hand side on the water, just like everywhere else in the world. And it's just picked up. It's a little bit busier than it has been all day. Can you imagine in the summer, this is quite removing everything from the coal and the iron and the steel up and down. Coal are people's homes. And these are really quite small houseboats. Houseboats. Over £500,000 worth of houseboat on the road there. You can walk there from Camden, back along the canal, and then you need to cross over this bridge. There's ammunition, and the post, and pottery. So you've got the church up on the left. Oh, and the Chinese restaurant. Must be the Chinese restaurant. The bridge overhead is the one to walk back to if you were walking back into town or into Regent's Park, or as I said, looking for the zoo. About 15-minute walk back from Camden. I don't actually think this is a part of London that most Londoners wouldn't immediately recognise as being central London. I'm sure that most Londoners wouldn't know that this was called Cumberland Basin. And behind where those boats are, it's not far from Mornington Crescent and then a bit further to Euston Station, there's some proper council estates to the back of it. We've just opened an arc trail. This is the bit where the canal used to carry on there. And before it was filled in, there was servicing the back of Euston Station. There was a market, a hay market and then a fruit market. In the 1850s, that is called St Mark's of the parish of Primrose Hill. Building a church in the 1850s because the streets that now connect Camden on to the rest of central London behind us were also being built in the middle of the 1800s because of the change brought about by the railways, bringing railways and construction and a bigger population into London. So before the railways, we are not in Camden yet, and we would be surrounded by mostly fields and farmland, a few roads, a few small holdings, a few houses, but not streets like this. There are some lovely green open spaces still, quite a lot all around London, and quite a lot around this part of London as well. Primrose Hill itself is not very far away to walk from Camden. And see a fantastic view across London from the top of Primrose Hill. In the meantime, just this mixture of the way people live in London. On the left, these boats are people's homes. An example of people that do not have their own bit of a canal. These are called the Camden Visitor Moorings on the left. The boats on the right are not people's homes, they just belong to the people who have these homes on the right. And the homes are the streets of the townhouses built for workers in the 19th century. So this was poor London. We're looking into the backs of people's properties, understanding that it's not poor London. This is the change in appearances and the use of what's brought about by gentrification. If you have a look up, by the way, if you look up where the white railings are, just behind us, there's a cow on the balcony. Just in case there's nothing in the zoo. I'd like there to be something for everyone. During the week, we can generally hear the school, which has just gone past on our left. So the sounds are all part of it as well as just sitting, letting all the scenery drift gently past, noticing whatever draws your attention, paying attention to what this used to be as well as what it looks like now. Hard to think that the canal was just, even in my lifetime, just considered just a dirty old canal. It didn't really become a popular place. It certainly wouldn't have seen this gentrification of these houses that have robot lawnmowers and a boat at the end of it. Different ways and means. Lots of changes, and changes affects the appearance of things. And like I say, before the railways we are still not in Camden. Now everything is really the construction of the railways and what came after. Victorian times of the 20th century. This is the Euston to Glasgow railway track over our heads here. Elements of which here, including the first parts of these bridges, were being built in 1838. 1838, that's 1 year into the reign of Queen Victoria. Quite a few changes. Good to see the reassembly of the Camden Art Collective. Quite a few changes by the transport and industrial revolution of the 20th century, but also when the public starts using the canal, things look different as well. For example, these boats on the right are to do with the Pirate Castle building. That corner building there, with the jetty coming out of it, and the Canada Goose walking along, that used to be a warehouse, so this is a working wharf. We're trying to just imagine that this was all about industry, and now it's just all about recreation, getting out and about, this service that the people at the Pirate Castle provide, to get out and about in the water, and the boats and the canoes and the kayaks. Another recreational activity that goes on. I don't know if you noticed, is that people practice with the spray can. A little bit of graffiti and street art goes on here and there on the surfaces of things. Quite often the murals are getting painted over from one trip to the next. Quite often people are simply doing that, practicing. It's not very easy. I don't know if you've ever had a go, but it's not easy trying to be effective painting with a spray can. So there's somewhere to practice. Whether we want to or not, that forms a bit of the visual scenery, the visual landscape, telling us about when and where we live and what goes on. The surfaces of things change quite quickly. The story behind the surfaces takes a little bit longer, and you wouldn't necessarily know that the white building on the right was built as a place where they used to bottle gin. It is now flats with a car park underneath it. Ahead of us, people have come from all over the world to visit Camden. But my guess is that they haven't thought, let's go and visit that old industrial hub on the canal. It must be great there. But that's what they're doing, and you get a good introduction, understanding that why this scenery looks like this. I think it's processed outside West London. The canal is a Mandarin duck just here on the left. The towpath takes people over the canal. The iron bridge was built for horses to change sides. Underneath the bridge you see the first of the series of locks. So remember, everything being man-made, when you come to a hill you've got to go through it, which is what we did in that long tunnel. Or you go up and down it, which is, you are able to do by a genius bit of engineering, which is the lock system. If you stick around, you're very likely to see boats using the lock. Lots of people hanging around just doing what they're doing in Camden, drinking, watching people, buying clothes, buying food. The bulk of Camden Market is in the buildings that were the industrial warehouses, the factories, the stables, those buildings opposite. Northern Camden, the market spills onto all the streets around, as you can tell, I'm sure by now. So keep your eyes open, not just because it's a busy place, but because it's a very interesting place. It's in the background. To West London, to East London, and round to the River Thames. We just brought you along about a quarter of the Regent's Canal, from Little Venice to Camden Lock. And that trip, ladies and gentlemen, is something this boat that Jason has been doing, people on board like you, since the 1950s. So safely say that you've been on a genuine historic part of London canal history this afternoon. Welcome to Camden, everybody. Thanks for coming on Jason Street. Thank you very much.